Hello my good smelling friends, hope you're all doing great today because you are in for a treat. I have 12 best men's fragrances based on price and quality. And trust me, it was so difficult. That's why it's not a top 10. I couldn't just let go of 2 fragrances. And still it was very hard. Also, even harder it was to figure out the places in the list. For example, since last night when I thought about making the video and till today, the order has changed. And I'm not going to guarantee that the order in the list is not going to change again because taste in fragrances also change. The first honorable mention is, you know this one, it's Nautica Voyage. Guys, this fragrance I do not have to describe. One of the all-time best cheap aquatic fragrances with a great performance. It's only an honorable mention because the apple sweetness in the fragrance might be too much. For me, for example, it's too much to be considered a summer scent. So I often find it just sitting on the shelf and me not reaching for it just because of this great scent otherwise. Second honorable mention is one that is very easy to wear. It's Noogler Cologne. This again, amazing price quality ratio fragrance. It's one of the great and safest green scents out there. Its only problem is that its situation recently has changed. It's not a standalone fragrance anymore, it's an entire line of fragrances, and also the price now varies. So as simple as this, if this fragrance would have remained in its old and single format, it would have definitely entered the actual top 12. And third and the last honorable mention, it's John Varvatos Platinum. This is a superb blend of dark wood, spices and incense. This is either available or discontinued. This is either 50 pounds, it's either 80 pounds. That's why this is just an honorable mention, but the smell is fantastic. Now let's get started with the actual top 12. Boy, hope it's not going to be too long. I'm going to try to make it as quick and as accurate as possible. So let's begin. Roberto Cavalli Uomo. This fragrance follows the current trend of masculine fragrances, you know, sweet and slightly fresh. You can never say this is inspired of other fragrances. It is following the trend, but this is more elegant. Definitely anyone can pull this off, but I think this is a bit more elegant than your usual sweet designer fragrances. Great performance, absolute great price and great presentation. Number 11, it's a recent discovery of mine and it automatically entered this top 12, and you can imagine guys how good this fragrance is. Since the others, I had a good time of wearing them and experiencing them, and it's just my number 11 just because I didn't spend enough time with it. It's Christian Lacroix Bazar to Rome. This is a fresh fragrance with a very good performance. I mean, I'm surprised that at this price this can still be a fragrance on its own. I mean, it doesn't copy anything. Of course it does remind me of other fragrances, but the quality in this fragrance and the fact that it's a summer fragrance performs very well. It smells very nice. It smells green in the opening, but it has like a mountain breeze effect. While it dries down, it becomes slightly sweet and it becomes aquatic and salty. Great summer scent overall. Incredible price for this fragrance, guys. Just give it a try, it's so cheap. At number 10, this is Him by Zadig and Voltaire. If you like dark fragrances from Axe, like Dark Temptation or dark vanilla fragrances, this smells like those fragrances but turned into a proper fragrance. I know Axe or Lynx, as they are called in UK, have released fragrances on their own, but the performance is like terrible, but this has a very good performance. Actually, it can be too much in the opening. At number 9 we have a niche fragrance, and it's no surprise guys, Mancera Cedra Boise. Guys, this is the entry-level niche fragrance to any fragrance passionate. I mean, it's so easy to pull off and it smells so pleasant. It's 120 ml worth of juice here, eau de parfum, great performance. I know it smells similar to Creed Aventus, but I wouldn't say it's a clone. It has more cedar, it's more sweet, it has the vanilla quality, and price here is just amazing. At number 8 we have a great release, but yet it didn't get enough attention and it didn't get a proper praise in my opinion. I'm talking about Dunhill Century. This fragrance shows that Dunhill have really upped their fragrance game. I mean, even the presentation itself, it's unique. The bottle, the cap, it's magnetic, the way it opens, this is just really good. And the smell is also, I wouldn't say it's unique because I've smelled this before, but in terms of the recent releases from the designer houses, this is unique. I mean, this is a sandalwood based fragrance, but it's not the creamy sandalwood. It's more of a green sandalwood. It has a bit of a fresh cucumber effect, but it's also flowery, it has neroli, it's also slightly sweet. As a bonus guys, this fragrance, if you know Santal 33 by Le Labo, this is in the same direction. They smell pretty close. Performance could have been better, but still it's very good. It's an eau de parfum concentration, and the quantity for the price guys, I mean 135 ml worth of fragrance. Great one by Dunhill Century at number 8. At number 7 we have one of my most favorite inexpensive fragrances and also a very overlooked fragrance, Asado Visit. This in the opening has niche quality. This has a lot of notes in the opening and it creates a very complex niche-like smelling fragrance, but unfortunately it doesn't stay too much with the fragrance. It's going to become a very dry cedar wood, but also at the same time it's a smooth going fragrance. It has the incense, it also has like a leathery effect, but it's also musky. I think that the only problem of this fragrance, why it hasn't become so popular, because it's the brand Azzaro, which is known to be like an entry-level designer, but the price for this fragrance and the quality in this fragrance is just crazy. Number 6 guys, you probably knew I was going to add this in the list. Of course I was going to add this. This is a great fragrance, a great discovery. That guy Ify has nailed it with this fragrance. Now seriously guys, when I smell this fragrance, I'm not going to go over this again, but when I smell this fragrance, it really encapsulates the meaning of Middle East. I mean, this smells like, you know, the desert, everything Middle East has to offer, the good stuff. A true oriental fragrance. Okay, it's a bit feminine in the opening, it's a lot floral, it has the rose, but as it dries down it becomes like a smoky jasmine, really creamy and smooth, woody as well. Very pleasant fragrance. Almost every time I've worn this fragrance I've got a compliment. So for the price, for the performance, this performs great on my skin. For the price, for the performance, and also because it gets compliments and because it's unique amongst the inexpensive Middle Eastern fragrances. It's not a clone. This brings a lot to the table. That's why it's in this list. Okay guys, so forgive me if you think I keep bringing this in, but it deserves it. At number 5 guys, it's a masterpiece from the house of Guerlain. This had to be in the list. L'Instant by Guerlain. This has passed and will beat the test of time a long time, because this is one of those fragrances which will stay. And even if you don't like it at first, keep it there, because you will end up at some point, like I did, loving it. This is a keeper. You'll probably never want to have your collection without this one. Okay guys, so before hating me for bringing this fragrance into the list, hear me out. Breathe Royal Water. I know many of you think, okay, it's a Creed, it's very expensive. Well, I used to think that way, but I've seen fragrances go for up to $800, and the difference of quality and performance from this fragrance to those, it's not 6 times higher, okay, or even 7. In this fragrance you're getting like an entire fragrance history in here. You're getting the Creed quality, which is very high class. You're getting something else, you're not getting the regular niche or designer smell, and it's a Creed for that price, which is considered a high-end niche brand. So you still think this is way too expensive? Well, try other niche fragrances which cost 3, 4, 5 times higher than this, and then try this one and compare them. See which one is worth it. So that was number 4. We're entering top 3. Guys, this is my number 3, Keton Man. Now I'm sorry if the price for this fragrance in your country is too high, but in UK it's unbelievable. For what this fragrance has to offer, you can get this for as low as £20. And what you're getting in this fragrance and in this bottle, which is a 125ml bottle, it's a very aromatic, almost like Dior Sauvage kind of aromatic, you know, that kind of all year round kind of fragrance, easy to wear. But this is much more complex. There's a lot more going on in this fragrance. It has white flowers, it has fruits. This again has that DNA which will stand the test of time, and it's just going to be mentioned again and again in the fragrance community. At least I am going to. Okay, so number 2, you're probably going to laugh at this one, but it's no joke, guys. I know it's one of the simplest fragrances out there, Jovan White Musk. I've been praising this fragrance very often, but obviously not enough, because as simple as this fragrance is, it delivers. I mean, this fragrance shows that you don't have to buy a very complex fragrance, you don't have to spend too much money. Fruity, clean, musky, comforting, and also with a good performance. Even though it's an eau de cologne, this on my skin lasts a good 8 hours, and it projects. It also gets compliments, and for this price, what more do you ask? That's why Jovan White Musk, it's my number 2. And what's the number 1? What could be even better than Jovan White Musk? That's the question here, because it's obviously better than the rest. It wasn't easy, guys. Again, it wasn't easy to put this list together. I love all of these fragrances, and you know, to put the Creed, which is my current favorite smelling fragrance, just at number 4. It was very difficult, and this fragrance I'm going to show you, I don't even use it that often as others, for example, in this list, but I do recognize its value, and what great value you're getting for what you're paying here. Guys, XENO by Davidoff. Well, you got the brand, you got Davidoff, okay? Most of the people in the fragrance community know about Davidoff, okay? And that's mainly because of Cool Water. But they are forgetting about this fragrance. This is a great performing fragrance. Still, it has its age, but it's still good to be used today. This is basically a very woody and spicy fragrance. It has this darkness to it, but it smells very woody and very intense, and it has a bit of a mature vibe, which gives the fragrance this kind of a bossy smell. You know, this smells like a boss, not like a Hugo Boss fragrance, but like a boss, you know, bossing around other fragrances. So what else is going on with this fragrance? Well, it's available still, it has been available, it's easy to find and to buy, and the price, it remained constant price, which is a very low price for what you're getting. Again, this is a 125ml bottle. It's just an eau de toilette, but you don't need more. Great performance. What else do you need? Everything in this is great value. I mean, the greatest value for the money you're paying. This is my opinion. I hope you understand this. Of course, you can always leave a comment below with your opinion on any of these fragrances. Not just for me, but for the people who might be interested in purchasing these fragrances. Until the next one, guys, keep smelling great.